In this video, we will finish our project. Our workshop project, which you can see on your screen right now. This is the final effect of our website we want to get. And this is the stage of our website at this moment. We've styled our navigation and our header. And what we have to style is our footer and our main of the website. So let's get to work. Let's go to our CSS file and let's style our footer first because it will be simpler and quicker. Let's set the background color of our footer. Let's make it black like this. Now let's refer to our footer P. Let's change its color to white like this. Let's increase its font size to, for example, to rem. I think it's nice. Let's align this text inside our footer with the text align property. Let's make it center like this, and let's add some paddings into it. And in this case, it can be 2 rem from the top and the bottom, and 0 from left and right, like this. So as you can see, we can use rem units also in padding. In this case, 2 rem will be 20 pixels, as in the case of our font size, because our HTML element has font size of 10 pixels, and the rem unit always refer to this value. If we change it, everything on our website which refers to it will also change. We have to keep in mind that this is how it works. I think our footer is done. So let's style the hardest part, which will be the main area of our website. Now, first thing we want to do with our main tag is set its max width. And we want it to be the same as with our nav tag. So 1440 pixels. Like this. I'm gonna place a temporary background color to it just to show you something. Let it be like this. Because as you can see, we didn't use a wrapper div to wrap our whole website. Because we can create our websites like this, that we want to have some elements centered and stopping at some maximum width, with the other elements expanding to the full width of our website. Let me show this to you in our final example. When we spread the browser window width like this, we can see that our navigation stops right here, as well as our main tag, which is right here. But our footer and our header are expanding to the max width of the browser window, even at the full HD resolution. So as you can see, we have a header and a footer which have 100% of the width all the time. And we have a navigation and our main, which have this maximum width and are centered on our website. It's one of the ways of creating the websites. And this is what we are going to do in our project. Let's see how this looks for now in our project. We have styled this way our navigation already. We have our header set to the full width no matter of the resolution of the screen, as well as our footer. And we can see we set our main area right here so that its max width is 1440 pixels But as you can see, it's now aligned to the left. So let's change that. Let's set its margins to 0 auto. And let's see the difference now. We can see this gray area starts right here and ends right here. And it's the same width as our navigation. And our header and our footer are set to the 100% of the width of the website, no matter the size screen. But let's change this margin from the top and the bottom to, for example, 5 viewport height. So we will get this nice spaces. And let's get rid of this background color because we don't need it. Like this. So now our margin will depend on the height of our browser window. It also can be set like this. Now let's style our p tag with the description. So let's refer to it as our main p tag with the class of description. Like this. Let's change its font size to 2.2 rem. Let's center our text with the text align property and a center value like this. Let's set some margins to it, so to separate it from other elements. We don't need a margin at the top. Let's make it 30 pixels on the right, 50 pixels at the bottom, 50, and 30 pixels on the left. Let's see the effect. And we can see it's nicely centered and separated from the rest of the elements on our website. What I would like to do is changing its line height to make it bigger, for example 180%. This is usually how we do when we have small amount of text to make it more visible. Now let's style our section. Let's refer to our main section with the class of features. And I want to use some dummy colors to see what's going on inside these elements. Let's make it background color to EEE. Once again, we can see this is our whole section. And inside it, we have 3 divs with the class of feature. So let's refer to them. Once again, I'm going to use those long selectors just to make it clear where we are at. Of course, I could just refer to it as the section of features and then a div with the class of feature. But I would like to use the whole selector main. Well, maybe not the whole selector, because then I would have to place section features and div feature. But if we place only a div with the class of feature, it will be okay. It means that we want the div feature which is inside our main, just as our section features. I think this will be good. And now let's style our divs. As we can see it in our final project, we want our divs to be set next to each other. This is one div with the image and heading, a second one with the image and heading, and a third one with the image and heading. As we can see, we only have visible headings right here, but we will change that. But first, let's make our divs to be placed next to each other, but so we could style them. So let's use display property with the inline block value like this, and we can see now they are separated from each other. Let's set its width, and let's say we want it to be 33%. So we want them equally be spread on our website. Let's see the effect, and we can see that something doesn't work. Let's change its background color to gray, for example, and we can see those little spaces right here related to the inline block property. Now you can see that this light gray area is our section, and those darker gray areas are our divs. How we can change them? Of course, we could set, for example, 33% and have this little margin of space that this looks kind of like it should be, but we have still those spaces if we would like to place a background color for them. That doesn't look good so much, and we want it to be spread equally. Each div is supposed to have 1/3 of the width of the website. You may remember how to deal with it. All we have to do is to refer to its parent, which is the section, and change its font size to 0, just like this. But we have to keep in mind that doing this, our elements inside this section will inherit this font size, so we have to change it and place it directly in our elements. So let's place it. Let it be 2.2 rem, like this. And we have our 3 divs back again, and we can see they are placed in the whole area of the section. When we comment this background color of these divs, we will get the background color of our section. So that means that we have 3 equal divs spread over the whole section. Now we want to style the images inside those divs. Like this. We can refer to them as main div image. So a div with the class of image inside our main. Let's set their height to 200 pixels. We can see the height of our whole section got bigger. Let's set their background color for now for white, and we can see they take the whole space for themselves. The left space is only for those headings. So now let's get rid of those temporary background colors. Let's save our file. We can see only our headings. Let's place the proper background color of our images. Let's, for example, say light gray, like this. And now we can see 3 divs, 3 images, where one ends, the other starts. So let's separate them with the margin property. Let's say 20 pixels from the top and the bottom, and 30 pixels from left and right. Let's save the file. And this is exactly what we will get. This is our whole section. This is one div in this section. In this one div, we have a div with our image and our h2 tag. Now let's create this hovering effect on our images. Let's refer to them as main div image hover and we want them to change its background color to gray, like this. Now we can see it works. All we have to do is to change those headings right here, because they are a little too big than in our final project. So let's do it. Let's refer to them as main h2. And I think we should cut the font size from our div, which is the parent of our h2, which don't need this font size in here, but we can place it precisely and decrease its value to, for example, 2 rem. Now let's see how it will behave. And we can see that now our h2 tags have the right size, but are aligned to left where our every div starts. So let's use the text align property with the value of center, like this. And let's change its color to, for example, almost black, but not entirely, like this, just so to decrease this contrast. Now once again, I'll just open my DevTools and try to show this to you. With our selecting tool, I want to mark our whole section. This is our whole section with our features. This is one div of our feature, which you can see. Inside this div, we have a div with an image, which you can see right here, and our h2 tag. And we have 3 divs inside our section of features. This is how it works. This is how it looks. Let's see our final page on the full screen. And we did it exactly like this. And this is the final effect. I hope it wasn't too hard. We will be working at other projects. It will get very intuitive for you. But for now, let's do some other stuff.